Hello and welcome back to AC's Make and Repair. Well, today I'm just going to show you how to do some basic wheels out of wood. Many years they use wooden wheels, and if you use hardwood wheels they still last. So here's some very basic wheels. I'll show you how to simply make them. You can use them either as wheels or even adjustment knobs on machines. So I'll show you how to do that today. The first one is the hole saw method. It can be done either using a drill press or even an electric drill in your hand. It has some limitations. The axis size is determined by the pilot drill in the middle. You can get small hole saws from really small sizes right through to larger sizes, which I'll show you some later. You can cut them out quite easily. It centralises the hole right in the centre of your wheel, which is quite good. You still usually have to clean the outside edge up though, but it's quite handy for those that can't make them because they haven't got a bandsaw or etc. All these wheels I'm showing you today will be cut out of scrap wood, so they may not look neat, but rather than waste good wood to just show, I just sort of cut it out of scrap. As you can see, you can get quite a variation in hole saw sizes, from rather small up to the largest I have here is about 5 inches in diameter. The bandsaw method. As you can see, I'm cutting money out freehand here. I'll cut it out freehand on the bandsaw. You can use the circle cutting guide on your bandsaw. On tighter diameters, sometimes you can get some scalloping, also blade drift. So I tend to, when I go down to smaller diameter pieces or on thicker pieces of timber especially, to cut them freehand and then clean them up on the disc sander. You could alternatively actually even cut the circle out or the wheel out using a jigsaw. You'd have to clamp it down very adequately, but you could do it with a jigsaw as well. As I mark these out with the compass, you already have a centre mark from the point of your compass. I'll go on to now sanding these with the disc sander, and you could even, at that point in time, once you've disc sanded the circumference, use them as a wheel straight away once you've drilled your axle hole. So I'm sanding it here on the disc sander, and like I said, you could drill a hole in the centre and put your axle straight through if you wanted and use it as a wheel now. So next I go to the router table. I'm going to cut a 45-degree bevel on this one to make it look like a bit of a neat wheel. You could use these on little toy trucks or etc. You could use them for more of a practical little caster, etc. So I'll put a 45 in this one, I'll put a round over another, and I'll show you several varieties of how I do them. Here I'm drilling a recess with a Forstner bit. This way, if I put a little threaded bolt through with the nylock nut on, it acts as a hub, and the bolt and the nut are recessed back below the edge of the tyre or the wheel. It may be worth noting, if you have a beading bit similar to this, you can run it around the outside circumference of the wheel and make a tread pattern. Here's some other varieties of different profiles and shapes of tyres, or wheels I should say, as I go through. Here's one where I'm using a round over bit to make similar to a mag wheel or a racing wheel for a small car, or even, like I say, a caster. I use the centre square here to find centre, and I drill the recess out for the hub, and you can make them quite ornate and distinct by doing this at times. I wouldn't usually have to use the centre square, it's only that I lost the centre mark from the compass, although sometimes if you have a round disc, a centre square is quite handy to find centre. You don't normally have to recess both sides, I'm just showing you this as a matter of application. I usually only recess the nut side and put a spacing washer between whatever I'm bolting it onto and the wheel itself to make it spin better. So here we have all the wheels. This is a hardwood one. These are quite durable. I actually put one of these on my wife's laundry trolley for outside, and it lasted many, many years, the hardwood ones. So don't be fooled, wooden wheels can last a long time, especially if they're hardwood, and if you put a bit of grease on the axle, it lasts a long time. So this little tile here you could use on a little toy vintage car even. So the likes of this wheel, you could run the beading bit on the outside to make the tread pattern. And also this wheel gives it a bit more design and neatness to it too, if you want to do that for a kid's toy, etc. I just thought I'd show you how to put a simple axle through. I'm just using a 1/4 inch bolt here with a nylock nut. As you can see, it's a nylock nut. That way the nut won't come undone and the wheel won't fall off. I put a washer behind that. As I said before, you can put a washer behind the other side of the wheel, between the body of whatever it's going on and the wheel itself attacked as a spacer. I have made axles up out of the size axle rod I want to make it out of, whether at a 1/4 inch rod and cut a thread on the end with a die and put a nylock nut on. You could use timber dowel as axles. You'll have to make some sort of hub nut up for that though. So thanks for joining me on this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like, subscribe, and look, if you could share me with your friends, that would be very, very helpful. And if you've got any questions or comments, leave them below. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.